Deep within Nusantara, on the island of Kalimantan, not far from the river of Mahakam, Muara Kaman, lies a kingdom founded by a man named Kudungga, a noble man that led his kingdom gracefully and raised a noble family, entitled by his people Ansuman, the god of the sun. He was also given the title as Maharaja Kudungga Anumerta Dewawarman. The Kutai Kingdom, actually named by the historians that founded the kingdom, was the oldest Hindu kingdom in Indonesia, dating back to the 4th century. Despite its geographical location, far off the coast of East Kalimantan, it made contact with Indian mercenaries, as seen in its dialect, the Sanskrit language, and the name of the kings. While having open arms, the Kutai Kingdom isn't known outside of the island, only maintaining local trade. But it set off a new discovery as the Indonesian Nusantara enters a new era of Aksara. The history of the Kutai Kingdom originates from the influence of Indian culture, especially Hindu culture in the archipelago. With the inclusion of Hindu culture, it allowed Kutai, which was originally a form of a tribal community, to change the system of government. Although the historians do not know exactly what date it was formed, yet they use the techniques of comparing the dialect used at the time with India to see how much of an impact India has. The head of government, who is the head of the tribe, becomes the king. The king Asmawarman, named by his people the god of the sun, Ansuman, had 3 children, one of which, a prince, would grow to be the legacy of Kutai itself. The Brahmana and the people would write 7 stones that forever glorified who he is and what Kutai was about. His name was Mulawarman. From one of the 7 stones reads, Raja yang beradaban baik, kuat dan kuasa. Sang Mulawarman telah mengadakan kenduri, selamatan yang dinamakan emas amat banyak. Buat peringatan kenduri ini, selamatan, itulah tugu batu ini didirikan oleh para Brahmana. Not much is known about Mulawarman's birth and childhood. In fact, a little is known about him, only his good deeds and decisions for his people during that era. As known from the 7 artifacts found in the Kutai Kingdom, they all mention about the great Mulawarman. So who is this Mulawarman? King Mulawarman was a part of a royal family. His father Asmawarman was the 2nd king of the Kutai Kingdom. He then had 3 sons named Wamsanjanjat, entitled Maharaja Dewawarman, Wamsateku, entitled Wirawarman, and Wamsragen, entitled Maharaja Sri Mulawarman Naladewa, or known as Mulawarman. Then he was chosen to be the next lineage as the new king, most likely because Mulawarman was the oldest among the 3 siblings. Although with Asmawarman having many titles such as Wamsakerta or the founding family, Mulawarman's prominence on the 7 stones is indistinguishable. During Mulawarman's era, we also see cultural life in Kutai progressing, as evident by the Vratyastoma ceremony. This ceremony was held during the reign of King Mulawarman and led by a Brahmin who was born in Kutai. A significant ceremony held by the Hindus of self-purification before someone enters Hinduism and becomes a member of a caste. The Vratyastoma ceremony is also carried out when someone is expelled from a caste. Through the ceremony, which is quite heavy, and all kinds of mistakes and sins that have been committed by a member of the caste can be erased, and vice versa. This Vratyastoma ceremony is the only evident ceremony that is first held and known by the Indonesian people on the East Kalimantan region, which is on the Kutai Kingdom. It is one of the most historical events during the Hindu reign of the Kutai Kingdom, with it being the astounding factor of the Kutai Kingdom. During the ceremony, Sri Mulawarman gave 20,000 cattle to the Brahmanas. Beside cows, he also prepared oil, torch, and fanical flower to be presented during the ceremony, told by the epigraphs of the seven stones. This shows that the kingdom's ability to provide offerings of 20,000 herd of cattle is a sign of Kutai's economy advancing. If it were imported from outside, it would mean that the kingdom had the economic resources or goods for trading, gold or spices that are sufficient enough. Meanwhile, if the cattle are self-produced within the kingdom, Kutai's means of production is a sign of success or development in the agriculture or livestock sector. The founder of the Kutai Kingdom was Kudungga, but it reached the peak of its glory during Mulawarman's reign, the famous legacy of the seven Yupa stones and the Chiwa necklace. Being the oldest kingdom in Indonesia, the discovery of these monuments not only tells us the whereabouts of the kingdom, but also knowing during the prehistoric times that people began to recognize writing. Each of the seven stones resides at the National Museum of Indonesia in Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, with different information and achievements during that era. Prasasti Muara Kaman 1, or known as D2A, is the first of the seven found. Sculpted 12 rows on one side states, Sang Maharaja Kudungga, yang amat mulia mempunyai putra yang masyhur. Sang Asmawarman namanya, yang seperti sang ansuman, dewa matahari, menumbuhkan keluarga yang sangat mulia. Sang Asmawarman mempunyai putra tiga, seperti api yang suci. Yang terkemuka dari ketiga putra itu ialah Sang Mulawarman, raja yang beradaban baik, kuat dan kuasa. Sang Mulawarman telah mengadakan kenduri, keselamatan yang dinamakan emas amat banyak. Buat peringatan kenduri ini, selamatan, itulah tugu batu ini didirikan oleh para Brahmana. A glimpse into Mulawarman's family tree. Prasasti Muara Kaman 2, or known as D2B, known for the tallest monuments amongst the seven. However, with being the tallest doesn't mean having the most words. It reads, Sang Mulawarman, raja yang mulia dan termuka, telah memberi sedekah 20.000 ekor sapi kepada Brahmana yang seperti api, bertempat di dalam tanah yang suci bernama Vratyastoma. Buat peringatan akan kebaikan budi sang raja itu, tugu ini telah dibuat oleh para Brahmana yang datang ke tempat ini. With this tells us the real reason on why the Brahmins established the monument, a general idea on why the seven monuments was sculpted and created. Prasasti Muara Kaman 3, or known as D2C, sculptured with 8 rows on one side, tells us about, dengarkanlah oleh kamu sekalian, Brahmana yang terkemuka, dan sekalian orang baik lain-lainnya, tentang kebaikan budi Sang Mulawarman, raja besar yang sangat mulia. Kebaikan budi ini ialah berwujud sedekah banyak sekali, seolah-olah sedekah kehidupan atau semata-mata pohon kelapa yang memberi segala keinginan. Dengan sedekah tanah yang dihadiahkan berhubungan dengan kebaikan itulah maka tugu ini didirikan oleh para Brahmana buat peringatan. Prasasti Muara Kaman 4, or known as D2D, 11 rows sculpted on one side. Unfortunately, this is the only monument that is left partially readable, worn out by the years. It says, seperti Bagirata yang melahirkan Raja Segara, Mulawarman, After this stone, the next monuments seem to be damaged or partially unreadable. Prasasti Muara Kaman 5, or known as D175, sculpted in 4 rows, has the least words among the stones, and the following is the translated context of the inscription. Tugu ini ditulis buat peringatan dua perkara yang telah disedekahkan oleh sang Raja Mulawarman, yakni segunung minyak kental dengan lampu serta malai bunga. A hint into Mulawarman's purpose for this offering, as this can be related to a religious ceremony, primarily the Vratyastoma ceremony. Prasasti Muara Kaman 6, or known as D176, consists of 8 bars of Aksara Sanskrit, although this is the only monument that is broken on the top left of the stone so that some words at the end are lost. It reads, "Selamat untuk Raja yang berkuasa, Mulawarman yang santa mulia dan termasyur, yang dermanya sudah ada di tempat yang suci ini setelah ia, Raja yang luar biasa, menganugerah para rahmana dengan air, lemak ghee, sapi-sapi kuning, kecoklatan, biji-biji wijen, dan 11 banteng. Once again, with a lavish alms given by Mulawarman." Prasasti Muara Kaman 7, or known as D177, is the last of the stone monuments being partially readable, as some sculpted words are gone forever from time. It consists of 8 rows on one side, and it tells us, Raja Mulawarman yang masyur telah menaklukkan raja-raja lain di medan laga, membuat raja-raja tersebut mengirimkan upeti kepadanya, seperti yang dilakukan oleh Yudhistira. Di Waprakeswara, tanah suci, ia menyumbangkan 40.000 ... Ia lalu menyumbangkan lagi 30.000. Raja yang saleh ini sekali lagi mengadakan macam-macam jiwa dana dan melakukan penerangan di kotnya. Oleh ia yang saleh ini, Yupa ini didirikan oleh para brahmana yang datang ke tempat ini dari berbagai tempat. Not only did Mulawarman give of lavish offerings and alms to his people, but we also see him winning a battle against many kings, primarily Raja Yudhistira. He also gifted various jivadanas, or offerings for the perfection of the soul. Not only were there 7 monuments, but there are also a lesser-known artifact. Kalung Jiwa, or known as the Jiwa necklace, is an artifact from the Kutai Kingdom, which was discovered during the reign of Sultan Haji Muhammad Sulaiman. It was discovered in 1890 by a local resident around the lake Muara Kaman. As to this day, the Jiwa necklace is used by the royalty, primarily for important events, such as the coronation of a new sultan. The only thing we know of Kutai is its 7 stones that are left behind and survived over the course of a millennia. The only information that we have regarding the existence of the Kutai Kingdom are only on those 7 stones carved by the Brahmanas of that era about the kingdom. Not only does the Kutai Kingdom have great feats and accomplishments during that era, it also evokes questions that are perpetually more than we can answer. Someday, we can find more information regarding the kingdom with the help of future technology to uncover many secrets that lies beneath our feet, not only the Kutai Kingdom.